Ever wonder why some revolver reloads look smooth as silk while others make you cringe? What if the speed loader on your belt is actually slowing you down, or worse, setting you up to fail? In this video, we'll talk about the dumbest wheel gun reloaders ever foisted on gun owners, the one modern design fighting for redemption, and why your choice could mean the difference between ringing steel or staring at an empty cylinder. Stick around, because by the end, you might rethink everything you carry on your belt. Picture the early hours of April 6, 1970, Newhall, California. 4 California Highway Patrol officers found themselves in a brutal shootout with 2 armed felons. Officer James Pence had fired his Python dry, dumped his empties into a leather pouch, and was shoving loose rounds into the cylinder when a murderer stepped up and executed him. That tragedy hammered home a lesson we still repeat at every range day. A revolver is only as fast as its reload. Departments across America scrambled to replace dump pouches with anything that could shave seconds without scattering cartridges in the dirt or across a patrol car floor. Engineers and tinkerers threw everything at the wall. John Hunt's soft neoprene multiloader gripped cartridges like a sticky donut. You had to plant it on the cylinder and yank sideways so gravity could tug rounds free. It worked if you'd practiced that funky tear motion 1,000 times. Under stress, it was like trying to peel off a stuck Band-Aid with numb fingers. Then came the Matic Quick Loader, a rubber strip with claws that wrapped around cartridges and snapped shut with a clasp. Pull the tab, hope the strip didn't snag, and watch rounds spin into chambers, or onto the pavement. It looked clever on a workbench, less so in the rain. The 70s became an arms race for inventors chasing milliseconds. After the Matic stumbled, Ole Nelson's hard plastic Buchheimer appeared with scalloped flutes that slid neatly between grip panels. Center the loader, jab the tiny button, and gravity did the rest, unless your thumb missed the mushy cap. Dade Screw Machine tried a different route. Wrap a coil, spring around the body to grip rims, then smack a huge top button. Fast, yes, until the whole unit spewed rounds when you bumped it on a doorframe. Then came the second 6 with a sliding collar that didn't care if your muzzle pointed up, down, or sideways. It was narrow and quick, right up to the moment the collar popped off and rolled under squad cars like a cursed washer. Each device solved one problem and introduced 2. You start to notice a pattern. The simpler the mechanism, the longer it survived. Somewhere between genius and garage sale, we finally got 2 workhorses that still ride today. Robert Switzer's twist knob HKS locks rounds with rock-solid retention. Twist, drop, twist back, done. It demands you trap the cylinder so it won't spin while you twist, yet cops didn't care because it just plain works. John Bianchi's Speed Strip went the opposite route. Flat rubber, dead simple. 2 rounds at a time, peel away, pocket-friendly, impossible to spill. Not as quick as an HKS, but amazingly discreet. Perfect for detectives who didn't want to advertise they were packing. Quick checkpoint. How many of you are still rocking HKS knobs or speed strips in your EDC? Or maybe you've tried one of these weirdo designs and lived to tell the tale. Drop your experience in the comments. I'm genuinely curious which camp you're in and why you trust it over the rest. Safariland's comp series refined the push feed idea into near magic. Slam the loader home, and a spring cap spits every round without a twist. Competition shooters love the Comp 3, but the proud knob is thick and the pouches ride tall. Speed Bees modernized the old Dade with CNC aluminum. Amazing on the clock, miserable in jeans. Jet Loader landed somewhere in between. Firm retention plus push feed release, yet pricey and chunky. Those designs proved you can be faster than an HKS if you're willing to carry more bulk, though they also proved that every extra inch of girth risks snagging on seatbelts, jackets, and furniture. By the 21st century, most of the experimental relics were relegated to collector blogs, but nostalgia is a powerful drug. In 2018, CK Tactical rolled out the Ripcord, basically the Matic reanimated with stiffer plastic and tiny primer caps. Load 6.38s, roll the strip into a loop, latch it, and stash it in a pocket. When the clock runs, pop the cylinder, muzzle nose down, align the arc of cartridges, and yank the skinny tab so the strip unwinds like a fruit roll-up. Reviews were brutal. The tab was slick once sweat hit it, universal fit meant sloppy alignment, and the loader demanded your cylinder spin free, a direct clash with old-school support hand control. Some testers clocked respectable times, others fumbled so badly they could have loaded loose rounds faster. At $10 a pair, it was a fun novelty. Few trusted it for carry. Enter KazTac. In 2023, the small shop announced the Wrapid Loader, billing it as the first truly concealable speed loader that feeds like a round body. The company dusted off the 80s link loader patent, swapped flimsy springs for nickel-plated steel links, and paired the gadget with a hand-tooled leather pancake holster that rides flat against the belt. Slide your middle finger into a stainless ring, rip it upward, and the chain of cartridge saddles snaps into a perfect circle ready to charge the cylinder. Seat the rounds, pull the ring away perpendicular, and the links peel off one by one as you rotate. On paper, the Wrapid fixes the ripcord's biggest sins. The ring offers real purchase, the guided chain keeps alignment tight, and the holster keeps everything comfy under a cover garment. Real-world shooters, though, split into two tribes. Flat carry fans love it. No bulge, no pocket fishing, faster than a speed strip, and the materials feel premium instead of toy-like. Traditional revolver folk raise an eyebrow. The loader demands the strong hand-only gamer grip, not the classic support hand cylinder lock. Do that in motion, and you risk fumbling a $100 reload onto asphalt. KazTac's engineers claim they torture-tested the linkage by dunking it in sand, hitting it with compressed air, and cycling it thousands of times with dummy rounds. Their demo video shows the loader still snapping together after being run over by a Jeep tire. Impressive, though YouTube isn't exactly peer-reviewed. A buddy of mine tossed one into a tumbler full of brass cleaning media for an hour. The hinge pins came out shiny, the springs still snapped, and the carrier links showed no peening. Durability seems promising, but longevity only proves itself after a year of sweat, sunscreen, and dirt road vibration. Price? You'll drop about $70 for a Wrapid plus its leather sheath. KazTac argues that the bundle runs less than buying a dedicated pouch and two high-end round loaders. They're not wrong, but you're also paying for a training commitment. To get that slick Instagram reload, you need to drill a new motion until muscle memory kicks in, because when adrenaline spikes, fine motor tricks evaporate. Moonclip shooters understand. Practice until it's boring, then practice twice more. Still, I can't write it off. The Wrapid genuinely addresses the age-old concealment complaint. Speed strips vanish in a pocket but give you a 7-second reload if you're clumsy. Round bodies are blazing quick but bulge like a can of chew. Wrapid threads the needle, lies flat, yet promises near round loader speed. For someone carrying a 3-inch Model 13 under a t-shirt in muggy weather, that's tempting. Let's stack it against the classics. Against the HKS, it loses on absolute simplicity. Nothing beats twist drop, but wins on concealability/print control, especially under light shirts or slim-fitting jackets. Against a Safariland Compressecu, the Wrapid is slower, sure, but far more comfortable for appendix carry and doesn't scream cop gear when worn casually. Against the ripcord, it's pricier but worlds nicer to manipulate, especially when your hands are sweaty or gloved. Against the Matich, well, the Matich belongs in a museum next to Betamax, floppy disks, and other relics of good intentions gone sideways, so that's not hard. Training matters. When agencies left revolvers for Wonder Nines, institutional knowledge of proper wheelgun reloads faded. New shooters copy internet clips where influencers whip cylinders open like movie cowboys. The Wrapid thrives in that world because its motion mirrors those strong hand reloads. If modern revolver fans relearned the old FBI technique, support hand through the window, thumb pinning the ejector rod, the Wrapid's advantage would shrink. Good news, nothing stops you from blending the two. I've been experimenting by pinning the cylinder with my thumb first, then rolling the muzzle down, presenting the loader, and yanking the ring. The motion feels odd at first, but evens out after 50 dry-fire reps. A fair-minded shooter has to ask, what are the odds I'll fire enough rounds in a defensive shooting to need any reload at all? Statistics say vanishingly low. Most civilian gunfights burn fewer than 5 rounds. But we also carry spare magazines for compact autos, because malfunctions happen and nobody ever said, I wish I had less ammo. And there's always the chance you'll face more than one threat, or miss under pressure, or simply need to top off before moving again. A revolver reload that packs flat and feeds quickly is worth examining, especially if you live in a state where 10-round magazine limits turn every firearm into a game of musical chairs. Before we leave history, consider cost again. In 1975, an HKS cost about the price of 2 paperback novels. Advanced loaders ran triple and vanished. Today, even basic gear digs into the paycheck. Paying $70 for an experiment is easier when a single duty-grade pistol magazine can cost nearly that. Context matters. And this community lives by trying new widgets, then keeping what survives the class and the timer. There's also caliber compatibility. The Wrapid only ships in 6-shot 38 and 357 trim right now. That leaves Ruger LCR 5-shooters, Colt King Cobra Carry, and exotic 8-shot competition guns in the cold. HKS alone offers dozens of sizes. That matters when your nightstand gun isn't your belt gun. KazTac hinted at a 5-shot version and even a moonclip variant down the road, but no dates yet. So where do we land? If you're new to wheel guns, buy a pair of HKS or a fistful of Speed Strips and master the basics. If you're a seasoned shooter, craving flatter carry, and you're willing to invest in technique, the Wrapid may earn a spot. It's not snake oil, it's just specialized. Like appendix carry or red dot pistols, it rewards the committed and punishes the casual. I'll wrap with some personal numbers. My average HKS reload from concealment, cover garment cleared, hits about 3.5 seconds. The Wrapid, after a weekend of dry work, produced a 4-second best and a 5-second average. But my shirt didn't print once, and I never dug for a fat plastic pod. Give me another month and I bet I can shave a second. That's promising. One buddy with competition roots managed consistent sub-4-second runs after a week of practice, so the ceiling looks real. But what do you think? Comment below, and please like, share, subscribe, and click on the bell icon for more of these videos. Thanks for watching.